All right, thank you. Looking forward to it. All right, thanks. Y'all have a great day. Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel, and welcome back to Lone Oak Farm. Good morning to you all. This is episode number 15, and I've just picked up some breakfast burritos because, hey, it's excellent. It's excellent having a taco stand right out next to your field. Now, I will tell you that we're in a brand new game day from what we were in episode 14. I'm considering this to be actually a different game day from that because we did get Billy Bob to go ahead and seed this field over here, field number, I think that is 43, I think it is, maybe, um, in, um, in corn before he had his medical procedure. And what we're hoping is that he will actually be back before we get started seeding beans. But we do have two more fields that we need to seed in corn, and we're going to do that here in just a moment, or get started on it on this game day. Obviously, we've got the magic number of 50 plus degrees, so that's all good. And we've got a load of eggs. So we're going to head over here to Mr. Hollister's operation and see if he wants to buy some eggs. I'm not real sure where eggs are sold, but probably back here would be my guess. And we'll see if he just takes these eggs right off the cart like this, and it looks like he is, and we'll just unhook the thing there, and we've got a little bit of income, not a whole lot to write home about, but enough to make it worth coming over here, and of course enough to pay for the breakfast burritos. I think we could buy a whole lot of breakfast burritos for that, but anyway, the greenhouses are looking good. They're running everything. The wife and the kids absolutely love that. And so that's all good to go. This field over here, number 50, it will also be I'm looking at my map here of where I've got things laid out. Field number 50. What is field number 50 going to be? Have I decided that is going to be corn? So what I hope that Jack will have time to do when Jack gets finished, right now he is doing a little mechanicking. We've got that new auger wagon backed up into the shop. As a matter of fact, let's just kind of take a shortcut here if we can. We can drive across this field because we still need to, I think we need to cultivate it, or maybe we won't. I don't know. We'll see. And he's twisting some wrenches and some bolts and stuff, and hopefully he's not twisting anything off. But yeah, so Billy Bob had a pretty darn good day yesterday. We had the right temperatures and everything, and he managed to get this field right there that we're about to drive over. He managed to get that seeded in corn, and of course this field here has been plowed, and this will be one of our bean fields, I believe. So field number 42. What's that going to be? Field number 42. I don't know yet. I don't have it on my chart, so I'm guessing it's probably going to be soybeans. But anyway, all the animals are looking good. They're fed, and I wanted to just point you out over here. We'll cut across the grass field here, but our canola and our wheat are coming in. They're up. They're waving at us. They poked their little heads up above the soil, and everything is looking good. And it's good to see some green in these fields over here, that is for sure. We're going to have our work cut out for us. Wheat here is on the right, and canola on the left, and everything is looking good. We do have to obviously be concerned about fertilization, and we will, when we have a chance, and maybe that's something that Billy Bob can do when he comes back, is he might be able to spray. He might be able to seed as well. We'll see what the doctor says. Obviously, we're gonna err on the side of caution and basically force him to follow doctor's orders. So whatever the doctor says he can do, then obviously he will be doing. But it is kind of quiet around here without him here. And like I said, Jack has the auger wagon backed in there, and he's doing some maintenance, just making sure everything's greased up and everything's good to go. And he can kind of run on his own there, doing that while we get over here and start putting some corn seeds in the ground. Hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. It is just a fantastic day today here, both in the virtual world as in even in the real world as well. Everything is going just swimmingly. Today is actually Wednesday, the 16th of October, and I've got a bit of a queue going, a bit of a backlog of videos and stuff, so I can try to keep up with everything that's going on in my busy world. And yeah, it's all looking good. We'll just kind of park here. I want to put the gator out of the way because otherwise, if we don't do that, I am bound to have to move it a couple of times. But yeah, our corn's looking good. We're 100% fertilized over here, and so this thing will be coming up and be ready to harvest in no time. So we'll go ahead and climb up in our big John Deere here, and we're full of seeds. Thankfully, Billy Bob did come over here and get us all filled up and everything before he finished for the day yesterday. And so all is looking good. All is just fantastic. Go ahead and get this guy here unfolded and just double check that we are set on corn, because my gosh, would I hate to actually be putting the wrong seeds in the ground. But I also double check to make sure that Billy Bob actually put seeds in and fertilizer and all that stuff. I've got some, I set myself up some keyboard or some button commands so I can turn my GPS unit on and off over there. I can set my auto width right there, and then I can come up here and I can basically turn that on, and I can lower the seeder down. Have I lowered the seeder? Where are we? Are we up or are we down? There we go. Need to set that guy down, and then I can start seeding. I can drop my A point in here like this, and then I can try to drive in a straight line, Jerry, and then I can drop my B in there, and then we should be locked in, and we should be cooking with gas here. And we are planting corn. This is fantastic. This is actually a good milestone for us to have reached, because not only has it been a busy spring, it's going to most likely prove to be an even busier summer, especially early summer, because we've got literally well, technically game day 7, game day 8, game day 9, 3 more game days, since this is still fairly early to get our corn in. But you know, we also have to do our beans, and then we also have to make sure that we stay on top of things such as what's the word I'm looking for? Fertilizer is the word I'm looking for. We have to make sure that we maintain our fertilizer, and I have got myself in a bit of a pickle because I turned my steering wheel the wrong way. But that's okay. The camera was not in the right direction there for me. And we'll spin that end around and then drop her down and then head back the other direction. I will apologize for the short episode number, what was that, number 14, yeah. Just had a lot of stuff going on that day, and I really wanted to do a transition out of that game day, out of sort of that status, because I had a feeling with us setting at 48 degrees soil temperature, I had a feeling based on what the ambient air temperatures were going to be, I had a feeling that we were going to hit our 50 plus degree soil temperature. And so I just wanted to have a segue sort of out of that episode, out of that game day, into this. And I thought, you know, getting those greenhouses and everything set up was something that the wife had been wanting us to do for some time. And as I have said before, I think I've said before, you got to do what your wife asks you to do. There's a saying, and if you young people don't know this saying yet, I'm sure many of my old-timer friends do, and that is, a happy wife is a happy life. And what that means is, if you keep Mama Bear happy, then Papa Bear will be happy, and everything will basically work the way that you want it to. And if you don't get any advice from anyone else today, consider that to be your advice. Your advice of the day, anyways. Always happy to give you guys advice. I know I have kind of a multitude of viewers. I've got some younger folks, I've got some older folks, and I've probably got some folks in the middle. And we'll wait until we get to the end, because when I do that Alt-1, it's going to lift that cedar up, as it always does. And we'll cut the GPS off Alt-1. That will restore the HUDs. We'll make our turn, and we'll get back on our GPS track, and then we'll drop our cedar down, and then off we go again. Just like that. That's how it's done. But yeah, I know I have a variety of listeners, viewers, whatever you want to call yourself, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. I don't know. I honestly don't know if I have any female subscribers, viewers anymore. I believe there was one at one time, and if I do, and if you're watching this, please chime in and let me hear from you. I know that I've got a bunch of guys that watch, again, of all ages, and again, I'm happy that you spend your time with me here down on the farm, down on whatever farm I might happen to be playing. But yeah, we've got a lot to do. We've got a lot to stay busy, and I just really enjoyed this map. I've enjoyed the gameplay. I've enjoyed just the way the map is laid out, and I've actually enjoyed bringing you the episodes. I'm not going to worry about those little gaps there that we kind of miss. I think we'll have out of 3 fairly large fields of corn, I think we'll have a lot of corn to go around, especially when it comes time to getting it all harvested. Now, one of the things that I mentioned, again, this kind of ties into the fact that, you know, this area, the surrounding area, is kind of going to be on economic hard times, I think, because of the fact that of that frost, that early frost that we had, or maybe we consider it a late frost. In any event, there's going to be a lot of work, or a lot of people that's going to be out of work. Guys like combine operators and tractor trailer drivers, tractor drivers, all of that kind of stuff. So we are keeping our ears and eyes open, because we have the extra fields that we picked up. We believe that not only will we actually need help, besides what Billy Bob and Jack and myself can do, I think we're actually going to want it, and obviously we're going to be able to cover those expenses and everything as well, because we'll have a lot more of a harvest than what we have had in previous years. And it just takes, you know, sometimes there's the old saying, it takes money to make money, and well, it takes help as well. It takes help to get these crops in, and I think for right now, we're doing okay on planting. There is an opportunity. I got a phone call from our John Deere dealer today. There is an opportunity that he may have a larger row crop planter that he may want us to demo. And if he can get that over here to us in the next couple of days, then I will certainly do it, because I mean, it doesn't cost me anything other than the seeds to put in it and the diesel to pull it, and I got to do that anyway. I've got to pay for those items anyway, irregardless of whether I'm using this row crop seeder or if I'm using his demo model. And it could allow us the opportunity to actually have 2 tractors pulling seeders, putting seed in the ground. But it really just depends on whether he can get that over here. I've asked him if he's got an extra tractor as well, and I think he's checking around to see what he's got, and they do this because not only is it good, it's good publicity and everything. Um, he's getting free plug, the dealership and also the John Deere company, as far as that goes, gets free publicity by the fact of me running a YouTube channel. So, it's basically it's a win-win really all the way around if you think about it, because not only am I going to benefit from having the extra hardware here on the farm, and but I'm going to benefit from having use of it for practically no cost. I mean, I've still got to put seeds in the ground. I've still got to burn diesel to pull, but it could just give us an opportunity to kind of get a bit of a head start. And it's slightly larger than this one. It is a John Deere model seeder, which we don't own. We've got this Great Plains model, which has worked well for us in years past. Um, and the good thing about this particular one is it puts down seeds and fertilizer at the same time. Now, I'm not sure if his outfit is going to do that for us, and that's really not that big of an issue. Um, Although it is convenient for us to be able to do both at the same time in this situation, in this application. If we can cover more ground a little more quicker with a wider seeder, then that means that we should be able to also be able to spray that, because we've got that big John Deere sprayer. So we will just have to see what they can do for us. And we've also got him looking out for the possibility of a second combine. Because again, once we sort of get into the hot and heavy of harvesting, we could certainly benefit from having a second combine. May need a second combine operator. Billy Bob is typically my combine guy. Between myself and Billy Bob running combines, Jack is often busy still keeping our equipment running and everything, helping us run fuel out to the tractors and stuff like that. But he's also his main role in harvest is driving the semi or driving the grain cart, something like that. Um, but he can do all right with a combine. But there's a lot of, like I said before, there's a lot of combine operators and other types of folks that usually work on some of these other farms, that these other farms aren't going to have anything for them to harvest. They're not going to have any grain for them to transport from the field to the silo, or even from the silo to the store. So um, it's going to be kind of lean times around here, and if we can help these guys out, then that will at least help some of these families, and that will kind of help people from having to pick up other jobs, or whatever. Good stuff, good stuff. Making fairly good time on this field. As I said before, this row crop seeder has got the job done for many a year, and I think she still has a few years left in her. I mean, that's the good thing about Jack is he does a pretty good job on keeping all of our equipment maintained. Not only can he do maintenance and everything on it at the present time when the tools are actually being used, if something happens, either we can quickly run it into the shop, or he can run out here and do some service on it if need be. But also he does an excellent job sort of in the off season, when you think about it from that perspective of just basically, we had this thing in the shop a few weeks ago, and he was giving it a complete work through, and doing all of that kind of before we needed it. And obviously we'll probably see him bringing the combine in the next probably week or two as well. Once he gets the brakes done on the semi and the tipper, that trailer and everything, once all that's done, I think he's got to change a tire or two as well. Once that's done, then that should free up the shop there. We'll probably bring the combine in, give it a good once over, and make sure that it's all ready to go, because it'll run from the moment that the wheat is ready to harvest. That combine will probably not see a lot of downtime between getting the wheat in and then moving pretty much directly to the canola thereafter. We'll have a little bit of downtime, I think, and it'll kind of be all hands on deck to get the straw up, get that baled, get that up, put in the barn, and all that good stuff. And then I think it'll just be moving right into corn, and then right into beans, and maybe having to do a little bit of both at the same time, if we have especially if we have the second combine, or if we have access to a second combine. That really is going to depend on the dealer. Now we've got some money. I mean, we've got, as you can see up there, we've got 375,000 of cash that is readily available to us. But we've also got a line of credit if we need to. But the thing about it is I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we're going to actually be able to justify, say, for example, next season, next year, if we play this map for another year. I don't know if we'll have all the extra fields, because obviously those farmers, unless they want to get out of farming, and certainly no one has said anything to me about that right now. Of the farmers that I'm in touch with, nobody has basically said, well, how about you just, permanently lease this or permanently buy this field or whatever. We're just sort of leaving that door open, but also equally as well, leaving the door open that they will return, that they'll be able to do that. I mean, I think that what we're paying for the field, for use of the field and everything, it's not going to put them where they would have been if they would have actually been able to put uh, corn or wheat or whatever in the ground and then harvest that. But it will at least cover their losses on, and then I think give them a little bit of extra to help them out. But it's not gonna put them too far in the profit column for sure. But we'll just have to see. We'll have to see what happens when we get to that point. And right now, we're just focused on the here and now. And the here and now is all about corn, and then soybeans, and then cotton. And we've got cotton that's going to be going in the ground once our soil temperature gets to 60. And really and truthfully, the cotton probably doesn't fit in with what we're doing here. The cotton is a personal decision of mine, speaking coming out of role play, because of obviously I have yet to be able to use the cotton DLC, the John Deere cotton DLC, and I would like to be able to use that here. Speaking of DLCs and gameplay and everything, it's quite possible. And again, I'm not sure what the dealer is going to have access to. Now, the planter that he's talking about, that is definitely John Deere. I know for a fact, because he's already told me that. But there is a chance that a second combine that might be available, might actually be a Kloss. So we'll have to see. Obviously, the Kloss DLC is due out very soon. Today, I believe, actually, in the real world, as I'm recording this. I haven't even checked to see if it downloaded, so it might already be sitting on my hard drive. But in any event, I know that we're close to that date, and so that might be something that we might add into the storyline, just so that I can, get to experience a little bit of that Kloss combine stuff. People rave about it. Duckzorly, he loves Kloss. I mean, his feelings about Kloss is completely the opposite of his feelings about John Deere, and for each their own. That's the way I see that. So, all right, well, ladies and gentlemen, we have this one. We've got this one sewn in. It is good to go. and I think we'll just set the parking brake so the tractor doesn't roll off. We are also 100% fertilized, so that's also good as well, because we had pre-fertilized these fields early in the spring. We put some granular fertilizer down and we plowed that in, and then we came along, and just a few days ago, back when the soil temperature was still in the mid to late 40s, mid to upper 40s, we went ahead and also cultivated these fields to open them up. They were a bit wet. We had had some rains and everything, so we cultivated those fields, turned that soil over, and yeah, so I think we're all pretty good here. I think we're going to move this tractor over to the next field that we have plans to put in wheat. I see Billy Bob missed a couple of spots, but that's okay. He did the best he could. I think he was really focused on the procedure and all that stuff. And well, you can't really blame the guy um, at all. So anyway, I will be sure to return, if you will as well, for episode 16, and I'll have an update on Billy Bob, see how he's doing. He did a good job. I can't complain. We'll give an update on him. Hopefully, I'll have some information on his procedure and that he's home recuperating. And then, like I said, we've got, I believe, just maybe one more field of corn, and then we'll start getting the beans in. So hopefully I'll hear something as well from the dealership on the other row crop planter and maybe the larger tractor. We'll see what that's going to set us back, if anything. If it can just be a demo situation, obviously that's in our best interest. But until then, I will just say thank you so much for watching. God bless you all so much, and take good care of yourself, and I'll see you back here for episode number 16 on Lone Oak Farm. Bye-bye for now.